closely. I can tell you each and every farmer here has his eyes on the mobile phone, on the latest updates, whatever is happening, because they do believe that this could well either end the deadlock or in fact flare up the entire issue. And even as you hear loudspeaker announcements and statements behind me, you can see that this is a jam-packed house. This is not the Ramlila Maidan. This is the national highway that has been under lockdown of sorts, with the farmers absolutely drawing a red line, and that's the red line. I'll ask Vakar to pan out and show to our viewers just how the scenes here look. You can see those dumper trucks that are parked right in the center. That side is heavy deployment of security forces. We saw the Delhi Police Commissioner come in yesterday to inspect the security arrangements, barricading, and that's the red line that the security forces have drawn up for the farmers. As far as this entire meeting is concerned, the farmers would be stressing on one and only one fact, that roll back the law which they call a black law. And they do believe that with the government adamant to not repeal or to modify the laws, there could be perhaps further thawing of the entire.
हम लोग तो समाधान करने के लिए चर्चा करने को पूरी तरह तैयार हैं। देखते हैं, बातचीत होगी।
क्या विकल्प देंगे सर आप लोग क्या विकल्प देंगे कि आज आंदोलन समाप्त होने की दिशा में बढ़ सके?
पहले उनका प्रस्ताव आए ना, तब विकल्प की बात तो बाद में उठती है।
मांग तो आपको पता है सर, उनकी मांगे क्या है?
MSP को लेकर सर आज जो आप लोगों की बैठक हुई थी नड्डा जी के आवास पर, वहाँ पर कुछ तय हुआ सर?
इसीलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ ना कि अभी बैठक में बातचीत होगी। बातचीत में जो चर्चा में निष्कर्ष निकलेंगे तब बताएंगे आपको। अभी क्या है
सर, राजनाथ जी और अमित शाह जी भी
मैंने बताया ना, मैं, सोम प्रकाश जी और पीयूष गोयल जी।
अच्छा, ठीक है सर, ठीक है सर, थैंक यू
You had the Agriculture Minister there saying that once talks are initiated, only then a discussion can become about, a decision that they can come about on it. Remember, here the farmers have been quite adamant that they want the minimum support price to be guaranteed. They're fearing corporates to take over. In fact, the new laws, they believe, will allow corporates a free hand. Corporates eventually to decide the pricing. They will control farmers and the agricultural sector to a point where they could even lose their land. That's the grouse many of the farmers have put forth. Now, Mausami, for more on that. Mausami, over to you. You were saying the mood and the sentiment there at the Singhu border is that of wait and watch. Farmers there are very keen to see what happens at the meeting today. And here at the Singhu border, it's turned violent time and again. There was a FIR that was filed by the police as well under various sections against several unknown persons for rioting that happened on the 27th of November. What's been the reaction of those farmers on that front, considering it was also the police who used brute force to stop those farmers at that point? Farmers also have clashed. It was back and forth. And now many of the farmers, unnamed people that the FIR is filed against, what's been the reaction coming in on that front?
Right, Nabila. See, as we see it right now, of course, the Delhi police do believe that this is a law and order problem, and they have been various intelligence officials, intelligence executives who have been scanning this entire area. But yes, since that FIR has been launched against anonymous people, there has been a lot of anger against the administration and also against the government, because the farmers here do believe that they had come, their means were non-violent, and it was only after the police unleashed its baton is that they had to respond. And here if you see that continuously announcements are being made of what is going to happen in that meeting. They just announced that our leaders have gone in, but just look at the arrangements that the farmers have come with, the preparedness that they have come with. If you see those tractors and trolleys, Vakar will just pan out and show you farmers housed in these tractor trolleys. These are like rooms converted into rooms. Many have television sets, their blankets and beddings are all housed inside. We do believe that the administration is trying to put up medical health centers to get COVID testing done. Remember, these are pandemic times and most of them are not wearing masks. So it does present a huge threat as far as, the pandemic is concerned and the spread of infection is concerned. On the other hand, there is a lot of resentment as far as the dealing of the entire matter by the government is concerned. But if you look, if the camera actually can show you till the end, it's not only people with tractors, but trucks and buses that have been parked out, whatever the farmers could get. As far as you can see, at the national highway, with all the wherewithal that they had, they are ready for a long haul. They even said that it can be more than 4 months, and they are ready for this entire battle for the next 6 months. So that's the kind of readiness that the farmers have, and we do believe that they will be watching that meeting very closely. Interestingly, Nabila, a lot of youth are involved in the entire agitation. We've seen the young farmers, the youngsters actually come up. We'll have to wait and see how they respond to this meeting that is taking place right now at Vigyan.
Absolutely. Mausami, do stay with us. Let me cut across to Rahul Shrivastava as well, joining us for more. Rahul, the protest that's been ensuing for the last 6 days it's got global attention as well. Justin Trudeau has interfered. He's raised the issue. He said that what he sees is worrisome, and he stands by peaceful protesters, and protesters must be allowed to carry out peaceful protests. BJP has hit out saying Justin Trudeau is interfering in India's sovereign matters. But it's not Justin Trudeau alone. You had British MP as well raking the issue up in the parliament there in the United Kingdom. You have people, various leaders from the Indian community, mostly from Punjab, from the Sikh community, raising their voice all across the globe. So this has really caught global attention, made global headlines as well. Considering that, do you think the government is under pressure to sort of amend if possible?
Nabila, right now the concern of the government is not what the global community is saying, because they are addressing to their own electoral constituencies. And what the government's clear and present challenge right now is that how to ensure that this thawing which has taken place between the government and the farm unions, which have been protesting for the last 6 days, that persists. It does not boil down to any deterioration as far as deterioration or escalation as far as the protest is concerned. One, the farmers who are protesting on the highways, that gets open and they go to a more secluded spot like the Burari protest ground. And also it does not spread across the country. Now the government has those two twin agendas, and in which the action plan is to try to convince the farm unions which have come to talk to the government. In fact, from the government side, it is only Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar who is leading the talks, not Amit Shah and others. The fact is that the attempt of the Agriculture Minister will be to allay the fears of the farmers, tell them that MSP is not going to go anywhere, tell them that the old systems are going to persist and the farm bills are in favor of the farmers. The farmers, on the other hand, have different compulsions altogether. Their compulsions is they have raised the protest to a feverish pitch. They have brought thousands of farmers from Punjab, and they have convinced them that they will come back after the farm laws are abolished. In that scenario, for the government or the farm unions to give in any step further, take a step backward, would be very tough. So how the government moves on from here is going to be extremely delicate, and it's a complex process in which one cannot expect that the government will say that we are abolishing the laws, we are including MSP as part of the statute in the laws of the land. But yes, what the government can do, the possibilities are that there can be a committee to continue negotiations with the farmer unions so that they remain engaged, or even a kind of a written appeal from the government in which the government will state that MSPs will continue to hold as a support system for the farmers. But inclusion in laws or amendment in laws right now seems to be a remote possibility.
Right. Rahul,